Hey everybody, this is dHunter, bringing another action figure video. Today, we're going to be doing something a little different. Today, we're going to take a look back at all the McFarlane DC Multiverse releases from 2020. I'm going to pick out my top 10 personal favorite figures. And I must confess, I'm a huge Batman fan. My collection is predominantly Batman related, so it's going to be a little bit biased toward the Batman releases. And if you've been buying the McFarlane DC Multiverse line, you know that is the majority of what they've released so far. So McFarlane's had the line for about a year now. Mattel had the master DC retail license before them for about 15 years. So the passing of the torch from Mattel to McFarlane is a pretty big deal for me. And then, with the death of DC Direct and DC Collectibles, McFarlane is pretty much the only company that you can get reasonably priced DC action figures in this scale. I will say, I personally love what McFarlane has done. Yeah, there's been a couple weak releases here and there, especially in the first assortment, but for the most part, I love the scale, I love the articulation scheme, but the only complaint there is they could definitely improve the thigh rotation. So in this video, we'll take a look at my top 10 figures. I'm not going to say they're the best figures McFarlane has released, but the ones I personally enjoy the most. So, hope you enjoy the video. Now before we jump in, I wanted to point out there are 47 figures and one vehicle in front of you. Between all the different variations, like the 3 Robin Crows, the 2 Flashes, etc., they've released a total of 49 figures in 2020. The only 2 I'm missing are the gold variations of the Arkham Origins Deathstroke and the Arkham Knight Batman, and I will track those down. But with 50 releases in 2020, I can only imagine 2021 they're going to release more than 50 additional figures, and I'm really liking what they've done so far. I just hope we get some more classic and iconic characters. They've already shown a bunch of stuff for 2021, and you know there's a lot more they haven't shown us. So, let's start off with an honorable mention. So I wanted to give an honorable mention to Detective Comics number 1000 Batman. He didn't make my top 10 list, even though I use him arguably more than most of the other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. This goes in the first assortment of figures, and one could argue he's kind of a weak, soft release. His head is too small, his sculpt is soft, his torso looks kind of disconnected, a little too big on the top, and the articulation cut is not that great. His arms don't go any further down than this. In addition to that, they're obstructed by his cape covering his shoulders. But this is the most normal, classic, and iconic looking Batman. This is a rebirth Batman. If you want a modern, normal comic Batman to go with your Batman allies, this is the one. I found myself using this as my go-to Batman for the majority of my action figure scenarios, so I just wanted to give him an honorable mention. So doing the top 10 list, we're going to start with number 10 and work our way to my favorite McFarlane DC Multiverse release. This guy's number 10. This is the Action Comics number 1000 Superman. Once again, a classic, iconic hero look. He's got the traditional curl on his head. He's got the standard blue and red outfit. The colors are almost perfect for Superman. The blue could perhaps be a little bit lighter. His Superman symbol on his chest looks great. I like the belt. The belt loops are sculpted. The boot is sculpted. I saw a lot of stuff from Mattel where it's simply just painted on there. This guy looks really good. His muscle definition is pretty nice. He has a similar torso as Batman, could be a little better. He also doesn't have double jointed elbows, and he would definitely benefit from having those. I would have also liked to have had a little bit more straight flying hands, kind of Christopher Reeve style, but the ones he comes with are sufficient. So I will say, this is a great Superman. He's probably better than the Batman I showed before this. My number 10 figure. Then, coming in at number 9, we've got Thomas Wayne as Batman. This is the Flashpoint Batman. This is a Target exclusive release. The Flashpoint Batman was from a different universe in the multiverse. In this universe, Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne watched Bruce Wayne get killed in the alleyway. In turn, Thomas Wayne became Batman. Martha Wayne snapped, went crazy, and became that universe's the Joker. This guy has a great sculpt. I like his face. The stubble looks very nice. The bat symbol on his chest, the guns. They really did this guy justice. No pun intended. He was originally introduced in the Flashpoint comics, and then he was reintroduced into normal canon in the Rebirth comics, causing all kind of chaos and havoc in Gotham City. Coming at number 9 on my list. And now, coming in at number 8 on my list, this is the Arkham Origins Deathstroke. His sculpt is amazing. There's so much texture on him, all the different parts of his body. Very well done. He's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. What I really like about him is the costume in Arkham Origins is using his classic color scheme. You could almost use this as a comic Deathstroke if you're not too picky. And he kind of looks like the DC Cinematic Universe Deathstroke that you saw briefly at the end of Justice League. His accessories are cool. He has a sword that comes out of the sheath, but where they really drop the ball is he's got a pistol permanently attached to the holster on his side. Very disappointing there. Flashpoint Batman, Red Hood, they both have removable pistols, and Deathstroke sure should have got that as well. The other complaint about this guy is the lack of thigh swivel. It would have really helped this figure. But I really like getting the classic villains, and not even classic, but more iconic in their recognizable costumes, and that's what you get with this Deathstroke. The DC Direct version of the Arkham Origins Deathstroke is a very nice figure, but this one feels so much more durable. Number 8 on my list. So coming in at number 7 on my list, this is the Arkham Asylum Batman from the video game Arkham Asylum. It was the first game to launch the Arkham franchise of video games, and I'm a huge fan of those games. This figure here has long ears, looks great. He's got weathering on his gauntlets and his shin armor. He does have single-jointed elbows, which is a little disappointing, and his torso has similar problems as the Detective Comics 1000 Batman. The way it's cut just looks kind of awkward. His accessories were very nice. I really like the DC Direct line of Arkham Asylum figures, and I think this Batman surpasses any of the Batman figures that DC Direct made for that game. I'm a huge fan of the game. I had trouble deciding whether I should pick the Arkham Asylum Batman or the Arkham Knight Batman in this slot, but I think I prefer this Batman as a whole. I'm also very happy that he complements your DC Direct collection pretty nicely. He's a little bit larger, but can fit in with them if you'd like. This guy coming in at number 7. And here, clocking in at number 6, this is Batman in his Hellbat armor. This is from a comic story where Darkseid had killed Damian Wayne as Robin, and Batman put that armor on and invaded Apokolips, took Damian's body back. Huge armored batsuit. Where can you go wrong? I've seen Todd McFarlane say you get such a great value of plastic here, such a big, heavy figure, and he's right. This guy's even big compared to your standard 7-inch McFarlane figures. Even the McFarlane haters that don't like a 7-inch scale have bought this guy, as he can work with these 6-inch smaller figures because he's a large armored suit. Great bang for your buck. I was told these guys sold very well, and you see them getting re-released in stores quite often nowadays. This guy's folding wings, massive wing spread there. He does have single-jointed elbows, and I kind of get it. McFarlane has stated on the bigger figures he doesn't want to go double joints as to interrupt the sculpt even more. This guy, clocking in at number 6. Here's number 5 on my list. This is Azrael from the Curse of the White Knight in his large Batman armored suit. Once again, a large figure in Batman armor. I've always been a fan of the Azrael character, particularly the Jean-Paul Valley version. White Knight was sort of an alternate Elseworlds type storyline, but this armored suit looks phenomenal. It's kind of an homage to the Nightfall Batman armored suit he wore. I personally would love to see someone customize this into the blue color scheme from Nightfall. Would love to see what that would look like. This guy came with his Sword of Sin. Just a great, huge, bulking figure. The detail, the texture is great on this guy. All little pouches and belt pieces. Coming in at number 5 on my list. And here's number 4 on my list. This is the Devastator from the Dark Knight's Metal storyline. This is Bruce Wayne from an alternate dark multiverse. He's from Earth -1. It's pretty much a hybrid of Batman and Doomsday. He's got the physical size and strength of Doomsday and the intellect of Batman Bruce Wayne. What a scary combo. This figure is heavy, he's huge, you get a great bang for your buck. The sculpting detail on him is amazing, all kind of spikes and bumps all over him. Texturing is great. He does have single jointed elbows and knees, which is a little bit disappointing, but I do understand why they do that on some of the larger figures. He's got some rubber pants on, and it doesn't hinder the articulation. This guy started out as a Walmart exclusive, but then was able to be sold by the rest of the retailers, GameStop, Target, etc., once Walmart's exclusive time had passed. This guy's huge. He's a great figure. There are currently rumors of a Devastator versus Superman 2-pack. I think that's going to come out sometime in the near future. I've seen some websites up with him for pre-order for March. The biggest problem with this guy is his size. He's a huge figure, but he should be even bigger. This guy should be at least 1.5 inches or 2 inches taller. When he's on display with the rest of the Dark Knight's Metal team, I usually have him standing on something behind everybody else to make him appear bigger. A great figure, great value for $20, but should have been even bigger still. Coming in at number 4 on my list. Then, here's my number 3 choice. This is the Joker, or Jack Napier, from Batman the White Knight. Not only did he have a great Joker head, but he came with a Jack Napier head as well. This is the first time we've got a Jack Napier figure in any way, shape, or form at all. He's in his GTO outfit. That's a Gotham Terrorist Oppression Unit. It's pretty much like a SWAT outfit. I use the GTO as a special detachment of my Gotham City Police Department, able to handle special situations. Now this figure's a little bit bland. It's a Joker out of his traditional purple outfit, and that was the appeal of it to me. I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, how could he possibly make your top 10 list, much less number 3? Well, this figure himself didn't get number 3. It's what I did with this figure that got on the number 3 slot. I made my own GTO force, got 7 officers. This is a detachment from my Gotham City Police Department. I'm a huge fan of army building and a huge fan of police action figures. You can't have a Gotham City without a large police squad to back Batman up, or on occasion try to take him down. I pretty much did some head swaps. Got 7 different GTO officers. They look great with these GCPD SWAT vans. This guy gets number 3 on my list because army building is awesome, and a police force in Gotham City, where can you go wrong? Coming in at number 3 on my list. So here's my number 2 figure. This is Red Hood. Jason Todd was Batman's second Robin, and he was killed off in the 80s. They brought him back in the early 2000s as Red Hood. He was originally a villain against Batman, but he ended up becoming a Batman ally and working for the Bat. I really like this figure. They did an excellent job with him. His helmet is painted with a glossy paint. It looks metallic. His leather jacket looks great. This guy has double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, 2 pistols that are removable from the holsters. Thank you, McFarlane. The bat symbol on his chest looks great. And then his semi-armored outfit also looks great. They did an excellent job releasing the iconic biker version of Red Hood. This guy coming in at number 2 on my list as a traditional Bat ally, building up the Bat family. And finally, here's my number 1 McFarlane DC Multiverse figure of 2020. This is Jean-Paul Valley as Azrael. He's in his Order of Saint Dumas red outfit, the religious order, and they did such a good job with this figure. All the different details on him, the different texturing, all the little crosses hanging off, his cape type thing made of a soft material, very movable. His accessory, the Sword of Sin, is great, and it has removable fire that goes on top. Very well done. His hood and neck articulation is done very nicely. The execution of this figure is just great. He does have single jointed elbows, which is a little bit disappointing. But just all the details in this guy, he is stellar. He's also in his more or less traditional Saint Dumas outfit, and that's how he looks in the Rebirth comics as a Batman ally. Now, Jean-Paul Valley as Azrael died back before the New 52, and they brought him back pretty much out of nowhere, and I love that. I was always a fan of this character, and I'm happy they brought him back to work for Batman. So this guy here clocks in at number 1 as my favorite McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. What is your favorite figure? Drop me a line in the comments below. I'd be very curious to hear everyone's opinion. So overall, I really like the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. I haven't been this excited for DC figures in a long time. I'm curious what you guys think about my top 10 list. It's not exactly the 10 best McFarlane figures, but the 10 that I enjoyed the most for my own personal uses. I cannot wait to get all the figures they've already revealed for 2021, and I can't wait to see what's next that they haven't shown us. So this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure videos from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.